DC here. Hi, guys and gals. Well, I thought I would do Jasmine's Monday tag, and I'm part. Let me see if I can zoom that in a little bit. Here, touch that a little bit. Yeah. And I was just gonna say I'm one of the lucky ones. She's actually mentioned me. Okay, so let me see. I've got it right over here on the computer screen. So the 5 questions. Have you ever been locked out of your home? Actually, yes. In a very similar situation to what Jasmine mentioned, is that we were living actually in Geneva. At the time, we were on the first floor, and if you did not have your keys, as soon as the door was closed, it would lock automatically. And we had just moved in there probably, I'd say less than a month. And we had left the keys, so Mrs. DC and myself, we'd left the keys on the table and walked out. And there was a gush of wind because one of the windows was open and it closed the door. Now, we lived right across the fire station, so the fireman's station. So we went over there. Of course, there was this usual moment of panic. We went over there, and I explained it to them. And he asked me, "Where do you live?" I pointed it right over there, and they pulled out the truck. And now imagine this is in the city. This is in Geneva, and all the houses are in that part. They're all connected. So when the fire truck just comes out, everybody is panicking on the street because they're thinking if there's a fire, it could be the whole street. So what did the guys do? We told him where it was. The fireman went. He went in. He pulled out. And he went and got our key and brought it out. You can imagine, yeah, I bought them a couple bottles of wine after thanking them for them. Yeah, so that was a bit of a panicky situation, which ended up really in a very good relationship in the neighborhood. Where is the fanciest place that you have eaten? We went, let me see now. Once we went, there's a lot of fancy restaurants here in Switzerland. So I have to admit, I've been to a few. One with Mrs. DC at one point was for an anniversary, and we went to some type of Michelin type restaurant, but I probably would say that the fanciest, less fancy restaurant that I ever went to was a Michelin a star, something like that, restaurant over in Ireland. It was a Japanese restaurant, and we went, all the crew from my group in Ireland, so there was the profs and people like that, and we went to a place that was called Ishigo Ichi, and it cost a small fortune. I'm glad I was not paying for it. It was part of the so-called expenses, and a darn good thing it was because it cost a lot of money. But it was a multi-course Japanese meal, which I've never had anything close to that in my life. And it was, forget it, has nothing to do with sushis. Just put it that way. Okay, question 3. If you could go anywhere right now, where would you go? Well, actually, I'd go back to Ireland. I love that place. I really do. I go back, and I love going to Cork. I really do love going to Cork. Now, question 4. Are you afraid of small spaces? Excuse me. I think that would be if I'm kind of... The answer is no, but it would depend, I mean, what we're talking about. If you were going to, like, bury me alive in a coffin or something like that, if that was considered a small space, no, I wouldn't really want to have that. But just to be in a tight space, that's okay. I have no problems with that. And question 5, would you say that you are a romantic? Oh, I would say yeah, definitely. I like making little surprises or cards, or once I kidnapped Mrs. DC So, and I had organized a hotel and things like that. And I would say yes. I definitely would say yeah. I'm a romantic person. Okay. Is that it? Yeah, and I'm going to be under 10 minutes for once. So yeah, thank you, Jasmine. It was a fun tag. Okay, so DC signing off. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.